Would you like to learn how to manage your energy in any situation? This is Robert Manni, host of Guys TV, and this week my special guest is Bill McKenna. He's a developer of Cognomovement. It all starts right here, right now on Guys TV. You can also catch me on KCAA Radio here in Southern California and Guys Radio, my worldwide podcast. Guys TV, Guys Radio, thanks for your support. Okay, Guys Radio, welcoming back my friend and my teacher, Bill McKenna. Bill is the developer of the Cognomovement, and it's an exercise system designed to for quick, powerful changes to chronic patterns and problems. Welcome back to Guys Radio, Bill.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be on again. I just love the work you're doing.
Thank you. And today we want to always add some value to everybody out there, your lives, living your best life. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you overindulge. And again, we're not medical practitioners, we're not doctors, but Bill has done some energetic work. I've done energetic work, and we're just going to talk about some of the potential concepts that you can consider when you've overindulged, whether it be in a product or overindulging in emotions. But nowadays, since things are kind of very tight and tense, things can get triggered and slip out of hand very quickly. So let's talk about that, Bill, because you had some ideas you want to share with us.
Well, there's a very interesting technique that I wanted to share that is about relieving all of those symptoms of a hangover of whatever type naturally. So there's obviously, when we overindulge in, say, drinking, for example, there's obviously it taxes our physical body in so many ways, and we've all felt those effects. Well, I would say most people on the planet have had the effects of maybe an overindulgent night. And maybe it's not like when we were in college, right, and really going on a bender, but you went to dinner and you just had maybe a few drinks, and you wake up with that feeling, like, I'm a little slow today, that sort of thing. So there's a way in which you can completely be relieved of that in minutes, and not through any sort of other drugs or anything. Overindulgence is a really interesting thing. The way you put it, I like the way you put it. Not overindulging in, let's say, negative feelings. It turns out that there are certain chemicals that get released, right? When and we've all felt it. If you looked at it like anger, or maybe you got just betrayed, well, your nervous system literally lights up, and with that, all kinds of chemicals get released in your body, and you feel it literally physically for a period of time afterwards, right? You don't feel right. Well, this method is a way that you can completely flush and calm the system down. Now, this information that was a gift from one of the masters that I had studied with. I didn't believe it. When I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, you're so full of it. That can't even be true." And then I did it for myself, and it worked. And I thought, "Oh, wow. Well, maybe that's just me wishing or psychosomatic, right?" And then, without saying anything, one student, when people come to one of my seminars, right, they come to San Diego, and then it's like, "Hey, we're on vacation," and they're
Margarita.
Right? What's in margarita, right? Yeah, Mexican food. What goes with that? Tequila.
Right.
Margarita, right? So they come in and they've obviously had too much. So one of them was, They actually admitted, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I just don't do this ordinarily, but I got into it last night a little bit too much." So it was the obvious, the whole droopy eyed. So I said, "Okay, well, let's just try a little meditation." So I'll walk everybody through this. Now, obviously, you don't want to be driving when you're doing this or operating heavy machinery or anything like that. But it's very, very simple. What you do is you start with every cell in your body. So every cell in your body, you imagine a little silver grounding tube that comes off of every cell and goes down to your lower intestines. So every single cell in your body, you imagine from the marrow of the bones themselves, every every tissue, your skin, your hair, your eyes, your brain, every cell, every neuron, all grounded out from every organ, has this little silver hollow tube going down to the lower intestines. And then you imagine a tube that you're sitting on, kind of like just a big, you can imagine a silver tube that you're sitting on, and that goes down into the center of the earth. Above your head, above your head, you imagine a huge faucet. Now, I always like to imagine that it's the water from Lourdes, France, one of these holy sites. There's lots of holy sites around the world. Pick one you like. You can choose Lourdes, or if you don't like that, from an aquifer in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the farthest reaches from any contamination. You imagine you turn on the faucet over your head, and this water is coming down through the top of your head and hydrating every single cell in your body. And all of the effects of the alcohol, the drug, whatever it might be, has a place to go. It can flow down those tubes. So you just allow this water to fill up every single cell in the body, and all of those effects of the alcohol all draining off to the lower intestines through the tubes. And then from the lower intestines, it's dropping down into the earth.
Okay, question for you. So obviously, we all know that we deplete some of the traces of what we've ingested the previous evening or whatever by urination or going number two, and so we get a lot of the physical out of us. What you're speaking about is the energetic residue that's there with us and how to transmute that through our body, out of our body through visualization, and transmute it into the earth. As part of that, do you suggest that we have some type of contact with Gaia, the planet, and ask for our permission to help Gaia transmute it into the earth?
You certainly can do that. It's all from the earth. Everything is from the earth. Everything that we are physically in our body and anything we've ever ingested all came from the earth. It will eventually go back to the earth, every bit of it. So our gratitude, all I would say is, if we simply had gratitude for the earth and all it provided, which is our physical being. There's also that spiritual component, but as far as the physical goes, um, you know, I always like to look at it as that we are really one with the earth. Everything in us, right? It is absolutely provided by and nourished by the earth.
That's kind of what I was getting at. That Gaia is part of it, and we're part of Gaia. So for everybody out there, my special guest once again is Bill McKenna. He's been a frequent guest on the show, and he always has great tips. And today he's the founder of the Cognomovement System. Today we're talking about how to eradicate kind of when you overindulge, whether it be negative emotions, hangover, maybe you took too many, whatever, and how to get that out of your system. Now, of course, we talked about this, the pure physical ways, but also there's a physicality to moving the energy through and out of your body. That's what Bill's been talking about. And we're not saying do this while you're listening to the show, but when this happens and you're home safely, give it a try or give it the consideration. If this is something that seems to vibe for you, Bill's telling us a story of how it worked for him. To me, it makes perfect sense. Keep going, Bill.
Well, this process right here of energetically flushing all of the cells in our body, everything has an energy or frequency to it. Alcohol has a certain energy or frequency. Whatever it is, it all has that. And this pure water coming through and hydrating every cell right in our body and having a place, if you look at it, it is a way for every cell in your body to finally have a fast, easy way to release that unresourceful energy. So with this flushing, if you talk to every cell in your body as you're doing this, and you say to every cell in your body, hey, it's okay. It's okay now. You can actually let this go. And this is a safe way to do that. Here is your tube, and you can let it go now. Now, when we're doing this, after a few minutes, what you'll do is you'll turn up the volume of the water, right? We want to get more water. And with your intention, you command every grounding tube to get 3 times bigger. And now there's even more flow going through the entire system. Typically, what happens with this entire process is somewhere in the vicinity of about 6 minutes or so, you should have a dramatic decrease in those hangover type of feelings. So just notice as you go, you can set your timer for 6 minutes. Your standard phone has a timer on it. Set a timer for 6 minutes, see how it goes. If it's not completely gone, then, set another 6 minutes and see how that goes for you.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Let's build on that, Bill, because it sounds like this is a technique and a process that can be used transcending overindulgence. It could be just life where you want to clean yourself out and kind of get clear and transmute everything through you. Would you consider using the same process for that? Maybe it's negative thinking, self-loathing, lack of confidence, fear, whatever gets in our way gets bottled up in our system somewhere physically, shows up. And I think it's important, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, to release that stuff, not let that stuff knot up in our systems, because that can create then disease.
Absolutely. That is, you're so on, Robert. It's just, I love working with you.
Guys radio.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, I'll tell a little story, right? There was a Dr. Diaz at, I think it was UCSD here in San Diego. He had done some work with rats. And what he did is he had he wanted to see if we pass from generation to generation our traumas. So he had a bunch of mice. I guess it was probably mice in a box, and the bottom of the box was electrified. Now, what he did was he put the mice in there, and then he had this fruity smell. He took the fruity smell and waved it over the box, and then he electrocuted or shocked the mice. Like he gave them a shock, not enough to kill them, but just shocked them. And then, and then he did the same thing a couple days later, put the fruity smell in, shock them. He did this for a period of time, over and over and over. So obviously, right, the rats, or mice, when they smell that fruity smell, it's like, oh no, here it comes, bam, oh, ouch, right? So anyway, what he did then is he took the egg and sperm out of those, artificially inseminated into other mice that had never met the mice that had been traumatized. So the babies had never met their true parents. Now the babies are born, he puts those into a box, right? He lets them mature, right? Now they're fully matured mice, and he waves the fruity smell over the box of these offspring. They go absolutely bonkers. It's like, holy, yeah, oh my God. So they were completely traumatized by the fruity smell. They're like, oh, this is very bad. Well,
is this the DNA programming, or is this energetic program, or is this mental programming? What happened to, and where are we going with this?
Well, point is that we pass down from ancestor to ancestor, and that's why we have a lot of the feelings we do. Use this process of flushing for all of my ancestors' enslavements, their traumas, all the things all their fears, all the wars that they've been put,
right,
all their anger. You can flush out things out of your system that are not yours, but they got from your ancestors to you through your DNA and through your genes.
That's amazing. Bill McKenna, my special guest on Guys Radio, your host here, Robert Manni. Great tips as usual. Let's flip it around and say, okay, how do you energize yourself? Like sometimes we get exhausted. We all do, particularly nowadays, mentally, energetically. Can we use techniques such as this and tweak it so we actually bring energy? Maybe we release old energy out and bring in new energy. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do. So this technique right here is for what I just described, and you will get more energy because you are absent all of those things that brought you down. When you're done with this exercise, you turn off the water and you imagine disconnecting all of those grounding cords and letting them fall down to the center of the earth. But specifically, if you find yourself exhausted, right? If you find yourself exhausted, one of the simple techniques is to raise up your eyebrows. Hold your eyebrows in an up position. Scrunch your eyebrows up. There is a nerve that is controlling part of your brain when you scrunch your eyebrows up, and you have to hold them. I know this is a little bit hard, but you have to hold them for maybe 2 minutes or so, and it'll be like you drank 3 cups of coffee. It's
what do you do with your eyes when you're doing that? So you pull your eyebrows, you look up?
Nope, you don't have to look anywhere. You merely scrunch your eyebrows up.
And hold it.
Just scrunch them up and hold. And I do this.
What does that trigger, Bill?
So that triggers a neurological response in your brain and then your energy system, which wakes you up. It'll wake you up. So that's
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, isn't that?
Bill McKenna, my friend and teacher, and you know why. Let's see if we can get to one more thing quickly.
There is another technique that I should give you about waking up, right?
Yes.
And that is, if you were to feel right here, there is a sore spot.
So Bill's touching for our listeners.
Say if you went directly at the level of the, as far as dead to center, like where your nipples are, and then up. It's like if you took your hand and you widen it out, the thumb and the middle finger, you'll find a place there that hurts. So
Yes.
just press around. You press around and you'll find, like, if you can't find it, it's the place that hurts. Okay, you found the place that hurts. And all you do here is simply just breathe through your nose and massage the point.
Do you go clockwise, counterclockwise? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter. You can
And
do
this
it
is like,
either way.
and for our listeners out there, this is kind of right inside where your armpits are. Go towards the middle of your chest, about a third of the way there. You'll feel a tender spot. You can use your thumbs to do it, or your two
You-
index finger and middle finger, whatever. But you will feel it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You'll feel it. And so you may feel like one side's tender and the other side's not, right? But just rub it, just keep rubbing it, couple minutes, couple minutes, and then you'll find that you wake up.
What
And
is this connected to, Bill? What are these
So-
connected to?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Robert. They are connected to your meridian system. So you have these, the acupuncture type points that, they knew about in the East. So you have a natural cycle. You know how you go to sleep every night, you get tired and you just go to sleep, right? Your energy goes in reverse. And then when you get up in the morning, right, your energy starts to move forward. So there is a natural cycle of my energy. When I start to get tired, like, hey man, we're going down, and my energy is going in reverse. What this does is it forces the energy into a forward pattern, and it'll stay in the forward pattern for a while until you redo it again.
Amazing. Bill McKenna, always welcome here on Guys Radio, because he has the best, easiest to use tips that you'll have some real results from. And again, these are suggestions. And as Bill will always say, you got to vibe with it to have it work, and you have to be open-minded. So thanks so much for being here, Bill. Tell everybody where they can find more about you, Cognomovement, and also your radio show.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cognomovement.com, Cognomovement.com. And the radio show is on the UK Health Radio, and it's called New Life Perspectives. You can see 60 episodes there, and all of them have one of these tips at the end.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for being back with us on Guys Radio. We'll see you again soon, Bill.
All right.
Enjoy the content and guests I bring you each and every week to Guys Radio and TV. Please support us by subscribing to our channels. Thank you.